Foreshadowing. It's a concept that your English teacher constantly hammers into your brain when you are in class, and hey, since I happen to have a degree in that same field with storytelling and English teaching, which I never used outside of 1 year in the field, I need to recoup some of my lost morale by talking about it with you, because today we're going to be talking about 5 foreshadowing moments in the Batman Arkham series where the story was sort of shown ahead of time, themes were revealed ahead of time in order to lead up and build up towards a conclusion or a twist. This is going to be an awesome ride, but before we hop into it, I am very, very happy to announce that I am actually sponsored in today's video from a very, very wonderful group of people and product that I want to talk about today. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's hop right into it. Let's try out a real diamond in the rough in the world of mobile games. I started playing Hero Wars. This is an online role-playing action game with a variety of PvP and PvE modes. Here I can fight against powerful bosses and experience the story. This campaign style is great. It feels like a classic fantasy game. While completing missions, I can collect loot and upgrade my champions. This game has more than 50 unique heroes. Each one has unique abilities. Combine and assemble different teams to battle in the arena or traverse the Endless Tower. But the main party happens online. You can create guilds, fight with other players, and constantly rise in rank. Join the game now and get a super chest with a secret hero, as well as 62 emeralds and 30,000 gold. Hero Wars is available on mobile devices and also runs in a web browser. Scan this QR code or download the game from the link in the description. I'll see you in-game. Wow guys, that is awesome that I was able to talk to these people and play Hero Wars and just hang out. It was really, really fun. Fun game. I recommend you check it out. As I've said before, in the description down below and the QR code that was on the screen, if you want to go back a few seconds, it is all there. And your support of this game also goes to help the channel. You know, so, sponsors like this are very, very important to our channel and to YouTube in general, and YouTubers, especially those who are a little smaller. So you checking them out means the world to me very, very much. Thank you. And let's hop into the 5 foreshadowing moments in the Batman Arkham series. Number 5. The first one happens within just a couple minutes of Arkham Asylum. You're sitting down for the first time to play this game, and you have the Joker in the Batmobile. You are taking him back to Arkham Asylum after what appeared to be a brutal battle between the forces of good and evil, Batman and Joker, right? Wrong. It is revealed very quickly after talking to Commissioner Gordon and escorting Joker into the asylum that he did not put up much of a fight at all. It was almost as if he wanted to be caught. Soon, all of the events of the story start to unfold and go into action as we see Joker's plan actually unravel. We see that he had this all planned out. There are more and more little nuggets in the first couple minutes foreshadowing this as well, including lines about how many of Joker's fellow prisoners in his gang have been transferred from Blackgate Prison to Arkham Asylum, which would facilitate an even easier time taking over the facility. It's really interesting. They start out with a bang in terms of their storytelling and show us what's going to be happening without it just boom happening. We know ahead of time, and there's really not much we can do to stop it until it starts. Number 4. It's the 4th one.
4.
The next one is from Arkham Knight, and it is about Jason Todd and the abuse of the Bat family. A huge theme, or handful of themes in Arkham Knight, is loss, and essentially the failure to prevent those around you from getting hurt, and failure in general. Now, this starts out in small little ways. It starts out in ways of Batman letting people down, his treatment of those around him. We see it in how he treats Tim. He sort of gives Tim the shaft a little bit in terms of just pushing him away when it comes to Arkham City in the game before this, and he does the same to all of his compatriots throughout the course of the series. But when it comes to this game, he especially keeps his allies at arm's length. He keeps them far away from him. Tim, Barbara, Alfred even, Dick Grayson, they are all pushed away. But when it comes to the Bat family, we see a lot of different trauma happening to members of this family throughout the game in flashbacks. We get to see what is essentially the events of the Killing Joke as Barbara is paralyzed by the Joker. We get to see also Jason slowly becoming more and more deranged over the course of the game once we start seeing those flashbacks in Panessa Studios. You start to see Joker breaking him down and turning him into someone else. There are a lot of different examples of Batman's failure in this game.
Have you got something to tell the nice man, Jason?
My name is Jason Todd.
Who do you hate?
Batman. No, not her. Don't say it.
She's dead. I'm sorry.
Let me out.
I can't. They're targeting everyone close to me. I won't let them get you as well.
Bruce, please. I have to do this.
No.
You son of a bitch! How dare you! You don't get to decide! Get away from me! Go!
And his failure to protect those around them that very slowly lead to the final reveal of who Arkham Knight is. Arkham Knight also has many different lines in this game that do the same thing, especially one shortly after kidnapping Barbara and her supposed death, where he talks about how she worked for you, she fought for you, and this is what happened to her.
Hey, question. Did it hurt watching her die? Powerless to do anything? Barbara Gordon worked for you. She fought for you. And look where it got her.
Only someone who is so personally tied to Batman would really care about this in the same way. You can hear a stutter in the Arkham Knight's voice when he's talking about it, as if he's getting very emotional, and you can tell that this character is torn up about what is going on around him, but also extremely angry. There were a lot of other things to point to Jason's reveal as well in this specific game, including things like knowing where Batman's hideouts were, knowing how he thought, knowing how his armor plating worked on his suit. There is example after example in this story foreshadowing Jason's reveal. Many gamers argue too many examples because it became very predictable, but I do think that it was well built up despite the whole Jason is not the Arkham Knight Rocksteady controversy that happened before this game's release. It was well written within the course of the game, and an interesting reveal, despite by many people being seen as diet under the Red Hood. Number three. The next one we have is in Arkham City. Now this is a fairly quick one. You will probably know if you have played this game at least a couple of times, and if not, hey, little nugget of truth. Scarecrow is actually teased in this game. A couple different places, but they are essentially in the same area. You are able to find Scarecrow's mask actually by the ship that he is located in, but you're not actually able to find Scarecrow himself. However, you do find where Jonathan Crane was experimenting on some prisoners in Arkham City. We get to find shipments addressed to Dr. Crane. We get to find someone who was undergoing I guess you would say, clinical trial against his will of Dr. Crane's fear toxin. And you can also find some hidden ciphers in the game using the cryptographic sequencer, which show that he's going to return.
12, 18, 5, 20, 21, 18.
Things like I'll be back. There are some hidden messages in here from Scarecrow as well that once deciphered by the player, or you could just check the internet like the rest of us did, reveal that Jonathan Crane is still very much alive and planning his return to Gotham. Now this might seem like a small thing, but it's very interesting that this game was foreshadowed in a previous game as well, in terms of Arkham Knight being foreshadowed in Arkham City, despite not even being the game that came out right after, with that being Origins. It was an interesting little piece of trivia in there. It's still really cool to see that world building and see those building blocks being built up ahead of time. It would have been very easy to do nothing with that, end Arkham City with finality, and then introduce Scarecrow in the next game, and it still would have worked. But they were able to build to it throughout little secret hidden things that you could very easily miss.
Number
two,
two.
the numero dos. Next up, we do have the post-credit scene for Arkham Origins, which teased Suicide Squad kill the Justice League, or did it? I personally included this because the way that our history in the real world played out here, it works. You know, there is a whole thing with Deathstroke after the course of Arkham Origins where he is being visited in prison, and he is visited by Amanda Waller, who offers him an opportunity to work for her with the Suicide Squad, with Task Force X. Now, for a long time, people were expecting something to happen with this. Suicide Squad game, maybe a Suicide Squad storyline in an Arkham game, something. Nothing for a long time happened, nothing at all. There were a lot of different scrapped concepts in the middle there, which we have covered on this channel, with canceled Superman projects, canceled Batman projects as well, at least a couple of them, that would turn into different things, and we are finally at the point where Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is happening, and it is, despite, again, to the dismay or confusion of many gamers in the Arkham universe. Now, put aside whether that works or not, I know we got the Floyd lot and stuff, I know we've got Harley's apparently slightly different characterization in the trailer, and the Justice League being here, all that, I understand, but it is still interesting to see that they were able to build off of something that was a post-credit scene from years earlier in that same franchise. Was it organic? I don't know, maybe not, but I still think it's pretty awesome.
Number one.
Splat.
The final one is a secret that I never ever noticed until after beating Arkham City and playing it again. And that is that Joker being in pretty critical condition and not cured is teased from the beginning. When you do enter the steel mill and you end up confronting Joker and finding his dead body, before you go up there, actually a little while before, when Harley Quinn goes back in there and then you are supposed to leave the room, you can hear her talking to Joker and saying, "Oh, you look perfect, it's a miracle. Wait, it's not really you, is it?" Which is an interesting point that I think a lot of people can miss. You can actually walk out of the room immediately and miss this dialogue.
Oh, Mr. J, it's a miracle. You look perfect. Oh no, it's not you, is it?
It's why I kind of loiter around in some rooms more than I would like to admit while playing these games, because you're able to hear these little secret lines of dialogue that add on to the world. And there's a double meaning to this. It's not just that there is a fake Joker body on the chair, because if that was the case, she wouldn't be saying that he looked perfect, right? He wouldn't be cured. He would just be, looking terrible still because of the illness, because of the Titan infection killing him slowly. But what it is that there actually is a second Joker up there with him. It's not just a fake prop and the real Joker. It is Clayface and Joker as well. So I think that that's really interesting, because that tease right there goes to show you that there is more than one Joker in the world of Arkham Asylum right away, and you are able to sort of deduce that more is going on than you think. But again, very easy to also miss this as well, or if you hear it, just assume that it means the fake Joker body. It's really cool to hear, it's really interesting to find. I think I found it on probably my third or fourth playthrough of the game, and it's one of those things that really helps me appreciate the Arkham series more, because there is so much to find here in terms of storytelling that is hidden and really, still being found today in terms of lines of dialogue that a lot of people don't know about. The only other game series I can think of this in-depth with storytelling where there's very, very easily missable foreshadowing is Metal Gear Solid, which I absolutely love the storytelling of, very similar style where you can miss dialogue. But I would be interested to hear down below, what are your favorite moments of foreshadowing in the Arkham series or in video games in general? Are there other video games that do this very well? or, you know, maybe they do it horribly. I'd be very interested to hear that down below. Be sure to check out everything in the description down there as always, and especially our sponsor today, Hero Wars, who did take time out of their day to help out the channel and really does mean the world to me. So thank you very much again to Hero Wars. That QR code earlier on in the video, I will actually include it again right now before we close it out. And the description down there holds all the information and links for them, along with our secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we play through a ton of different games together with you, and all of our social medias and Patreon. Have a fantastic day, everyone. If you like this, please subscribe and leave a like, and we'll see you in the next one. And as always, everyone, stay shui.